So, sir, if you could just start off by stating your name and your rank, please.
Hi, I'm Captain Raider. I'm with the Blaine County Sheriff's Office.
Perfect. And how long have you been police officer?
I'd say for probably around 3 to 4 months now.
Quite a while then, quite a while.
Yes, sir.
And what originally made you want to join the police force?
Well, it's always been my dream to save lives every day, and I thought, why not make it a job? And the best way of accomplishing that was to become an officer. And I saw them every day, passing up and down the street, and I always dreamed of being in that patrol car one day, and somebody looking up to me like I looked up to them.
Brilliant, brilliant. Inspirational, inspirational. Now, sir, where would you see yourself in, I don't know, say 5 years from now?
5 years? Oh, hopefully, the sheriff, top of the rank board, giving orders all day, every day,
Perfect, perfect. Instructing the younger people to do their jobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you could just give a short description of what it's like to do your job on a day-to-day basis.
You see, my job is kind of hard because not only do we have to look after the lower ranks, we also have to look after quite a few of the higher ranks, like the sergeants, the lieutenants. Keep an eye on them. And for sometimes when we have to get rid of them, it's quite hard. We've grown up with some of them. We've climbed the ranks together. So to see some people like that go, it hurts a lot more than seeing a deputy go. You understand that? It's like getting rid of one of your brothers.
Of course, like family and all that.
Yeah.
Now, this next question, sir, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it's appreciated if you do. What would you say is the most dangerous crime scene that you've been involved with?
Oh, well, I'll have to think. I've been on quite a few, in the time I've been here.
Again, so you don't have to answer if it is a touchy subject or anything like
that. There was one scene. In fact, the other officers stood outside right there. Yeah, we was doing a drug bust. We was in an unmarked car, and when we pulled up, we took heavy fire, like really heavy fire. We don't know how they knew it was us. I got hit twice in the shoulder. It was critical. I was in a critical condition. It hurt like a bitch. But, we had to drive away while they was chasing us. Full lights, full sirens, just being shot at. And bullets flying past me left, right, and center, It was the scariest position I've ever been in.
It sounds it, sir. It sounds it. If you could
Yes, sir.
potentially describe the pain you felt when you got shot.
Well, it's quite an undescribable pain. It's something I've never felt before. That's all I can say. It's just that bad.
No problem, sir. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, at first when the adrenaline's pumping, yeah, it doesn't hurt as much. I was still driving, but as soon as the adrenaline worn off and we was out that chase, it hurt a lot more.
And sir, do you remember where the incident took place?
I'm afraid I can't disclose that information.
That's perfectly fine, sir. That's perfectly fine. Don't worry. Now, a question about the different minorities in the police force. What would you say the ratio is roughly for the minorities, that being women, people of colour, within the police force?
I'd say there's a lot more men than women. I'm not sure why, but I'd say there is a higher ratio of men than women. The races, I believe there's quite an equal mix, We welcome everyone and anyone into the department, so...
Of course, equality and all that.
Yes, sir.
Now, with relation to crime within Los Santos and the surrounding areas, how are the police force actually actively helping to lower the crime rate?
Well, we always have units patrolling. We have different task force like the GNTF, speed enforcement unit.
Could you just explain what the GNTF is, please, sir?
Okay, yeah, sorry, my bad. The GNTF is a gangs and narcotics task force. They deal with, obviously, gangs and narcotics in big proportions, like some of the bigger gangs in Los Santos, like the, what are them called? The Gangster Disciples and the, what are the other ones? Black Disciples. They deal with a lot of incidents from them. They try and get some inside info that I'm afraid I can't leak, but
No problem, sir.
they're working all day, every day, busy, trying their very
Trying
best.
to keep the streets safe and all that.
Yes, sir. We have speed enforcement unit. They deal with, speeding cars, just more monitoring the vehicles instead of the people individually. So they deal with more like police chases, making sure they're brought to justice.
Of course. Now, a question many people ask on the internet and all that is, they say that officers use their guns too much. How would you respond to that?
Well, I can't speak for every officer, but I know me. I do not like to shoot my gun very often. I am a very left-handed guy. I'd rather pull out my taser and use that. Just if we can take the people in without injuring them, it helps us a lot more. It saves quite a bit of paperwork. I'll let you know that.
Of course.
I don't see why cops would instantly go to their guns. I feel like it'd actually be easier for them to use their tasers.
Well, what do we got going on over here, gentlemen?
And just a follow-on question from that, sir. What would you say to the people who want to continue to defund the police?
Sorry, what was that?
What would you say to the people who want to continue to defund the police department?
Oh, well, I'd say, in as polite way as possible, that'd be very kind of stupid in a way, because the money that we get helps fund all the task force and the subdivisions and just us as officers to help keep everyone who is a law-abiding citizen safe. And cutting that, it'd cut the stuff we can use, and it'd just make it a lot harder for us to ensure the people's safety of Los Santos and the county. It'd make it a lot harder for us to keep everyone safe.
Of course. Less money, less cops.
That is correct.
Now, we've already established that you have been shot before, but have you ever been stabbed, sir?
Oh, yes, plenty of times, sir. Always in the lower stomach. It just seems to be an easy place for the suspect to reach.
And if you had to compare the two pains, which one would you say is worse, shot or stabbed?
I would honestly say maybe I'd say they're pretty equal, but if I had to pick one, I'd say the gunshot wound's a lot worse. Because a gunshot wound, it seems to have more of a spread. It can cause a lot more damage to arteries, and it can overall make you bleed out a lot quicker.
Of course. Both being very painful, I'm guessing.
Yes, correct.
And what would you say is the most dangerous area within the city?
Oh, well, that's an easy one. It's going to be near Grove Street, near the Strawberry Avenue.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that is
Place.
hands down the scariest place in Los Santos.
Is that where you see most of the crime in the city committed, or?
I'd say that is a large proportion of it, with the gang activity up there.
So I'm guessing the gang task force is very active.
Yes, sir, always.
And just a question about your the police training. How hard would you say it is to be accepted and pass the police training, sir?
Oh, it is very difficult. So we spend, I'd say a training is probably around 2.5 hours. We go in depth in every bit of the job, every part. We show everyone what to do and how to use everything. It's very in depth, and we're very strict on if something is wrong, and they don't seem to correct it, then that will go towards the final decision of whether you have made it or whether you have not.
Okay. Just a little bit of a follow-on question from that. What rating out of 10 would you give how hard the training is?
Oh, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. It is quite a difficult bit of training that we have to do.
So not everybody can be accepted, basically.
That's correct, sir. Not everybody.
There is a high level of standard, would you say?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay. And last question. So you've been brilliant in the interview so far. What is one piece of advice that you'd give to somebody looking to join the police force?
Just make sure you come in knowing that you've got to try your best. Make sure that you have a clean mindset, and make sure you're ready to work hard.
Brilliant, sir. Brilliant. You've been a brilliant guest for the interview today, sir. Thank you very much.